Hey y'all, I'm back. And I just wanted to run through a few updates since we last seen each other. So today we're gonna talk about a few different things. We're gonna talk about my first sponsorship offer, update on my TikTok following, as well as the banning of TikTok possibly. Like, what? Why are we banning TikTok? That's my main primary platform is TikTok. So when we talk about banning TikTok, baby, we talking about stopping the bag, okay? I mean, okay, all right. It's important, especially if that's your primary platform. Let's get into it. First, we're gonna start with my first sponsorship offer. Now, this was a 2024 goal of mine, was to actually like ink the brand deal or the sponsorship deal. But the real goal of mine was just to get an offer, because what it does is that tell me I'm moving in the right direction. Y'all, let me tell you, I went into my email randomly one day, something just kept telling me like, check your email, check your email, check your email. I check my email and I go in and it's an email and I'm like, okay, cool. But you know, with sponsorship, when you're new to the sponsorship world or you're like trying to get into sponsorships and brand deals and things like that, brand sponsorships, you are vetting everything in the email. When I tell y'all, I'm looking through like, I'm checking the email address. I'm making sure everything is legit, baby, because I gotta make sure I'm crossing my I's. Okay. I'm dotting my I's and crossing my T's. So I actually vetted the email and found out that it was absolutely authentic. I vetted everything, read it over, and I got my first brand sponsorship offer. So I was super excited about it. I'm not gonna lie, but of course I played it player. I read through my email, got all that out of, like, I had to read it like a couple times. Like, I got it when I was actually at work. So I had to read through it a couple times. Like, am I tripping? Like, am I tripping? Like, am I tripping? Anyway, I read through everything and I was like, okay, so now I have to send back. They asked for like my media kit, my media rates and things like that. So I had to send all of that stuff back. And I was so excited, but like anxious all at the same time when I got it. But I was actually really, really happy. And then they got back with me. And pretty much what they were asking for was, they were asking for 3 different things. They were asking for a social media post. They were, in addition to a social media post, they were also asking for a link within my link tree, as well as licensing for that post, okay? So yeah, those were the 3 items they really wanted to do, and that's what they wanted: rates, media kit, all those things for. And I was just excited because one of my goals for, before the end of 2024 was to seal a sponsorship with a brand that really aligns with my mission and values. So when I first got the offer, that was one of my original concerns. Like, oh my God, I want to make sure that whatever they're wanting me to like review on, they know that I'm going to be truthful about it, but I'm also going to want to make sure it aligns with my values, my audience, things like that. So that's one of the biggest things I think that was kind of like concerning for me. Like, I want to make sure everything aligns. And I actually communicated that back in my email, like, hey, I'm interested in seeing what the collaboration could be. However, I want to make sure that this will only move forward if it aligns with my audience and my goals and my mission. So that was one of my biggest things I wanted to talk about, especially with that, because you have to make sure it aligns with your audience. Because if your audience ain't feeling it, if your audience, a collaboration could be great, but you want to make sure that it aligns with your audience and what your brand is. Because if it doesn't, then you're gonna lose. You are inherently gonna lose some of your audience, because they're gonna be like, what is going on? So one thing I learned was also, when you're doing like these sponsorships and stuff, definitely be transparent with your audience. Like, don't just upsell them and tell them whatever just because you under this brand thing. Like, be for real. Another big thing when I got the brand sponsorship offer was to make sure that you look at their clauses, like not clauses, but like the exclusivity. Like when I say exclusivity, like, do they not want you to work with another brand while you're working with them? That definitely needs to be factored into your rate. So make sure, even if you are a new or upcoming content creator, that you are charging your value. You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure your rates are reflecting your value and what you bring to the table as far as your niche, and as well as what you bring to social media in general and your platform. So that's just my thing. Continuing on the story. So what happened was that, the brand was actually Temu. They wanted me to work with them. However, their rates just really didn't align with what my rates were. I made the decision to not move forward with the collaboration because, one, all collaborations are not good collaborations. Not saying that they're not a good brand or anything like that. All collaborations are not good collaborations, or you don't have to take I think it's a lot of pressure, because I feel like as a content creator or as any kind of brand, when you are approached with when you are approached by brands to work with them for sponsorships, a lot of the times you feel pressured to take them just based on the idea like, oh my God, it's my first offer, or oh my God, it's my brand. But at the end of the day, you really have to make sure it aligns with your brand, your values, and your rates. Let's just be honest. Like, we ain't eating for free. Like, mortgages due, everything is due. So, and you have to make sure that you're being able to meet your needs on top of being able to provide for somebody else. So that's the biggest thing. So even though I did not decide to move forward with the collaboration, I still feel grateful, y'all. I still feel, even though I didn't decide to move forward with the collaboration with the brand, that doesn't mean anything. Like, a fail is not, you not being able to move forward is not a fail. You not moving forward with a collaboration is not a fail. What it does is teach you, it actually taught me a lot of different things. It taught me how to negotiate. It also taught me how to be excited, but also contain my excitement in order to get what I actually think reflects in my brand or business. Because at the end of the day, sponsorship offers are just a confirmation, I feel like, from God. I feel like it's a confirmation that I'm moving in the right direction. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm still grateful, still happy on that journey, and I am looking forward to more. You know what I mean? But yeah, it won't be the first and it will not be the last. It is the first, but it won't be the last. Okay, right? I always try to look at my cup half full and not half empty, because at the end of the day, gratitude is everything. With that being said, with the whole idea of me saying, like, you know, I'm grateful anyway because it tells me I'm on the up and up, and I'm, you know, continuing my journey, and I'm like having a positive trend. That also brings me to like the idea, like, my TikTok is growing. It's literally growing. Well, not only am I growing on TikTok, I'm also growing on YouTube. I post mainly shorts on YouTube, and of course TikTok, I'm posting TikToks. But I grew on TikTok. I'm growing, I feel like, at a great rate. I'm doing really well, and I want to say your girl really just hit, let me check y'all, let me check before I say anything. So I just actually hit 137,000 followers on TikTok, which doesn't seem like a lot to other people, but it's a lot to me because, of course, y'all already know I didn't start social media with like a vengeance or anything like that. I started just cooking for fun. At these numbers, I'm just like, I mean, my mouth, I'm having to pick my mouth up because what is happening right now? You know what I mean? Like, so that's a big deal for me because I'm just like, I never would have thought, you know what I mean? Like, I never would have thought. My channel continuing to grow on TikTok is just a really good thing for me, especially with the brand sponsorship offer, because it's just continuing to confirm, like, you're doing this, you're doing it right, you're continuing on. And let me tell y'all something too. I also put God in my business plan so that I'm not moving forward without his consent, y'all. So I'm very like intentional about what I'm doing, what I'm putting out. Yeah, so that's how I feel. My TikTok is growing. I'm at 137,000 followers. I'm really excited about that. On top of my following growing, I do think a lot of that comes from me being on live. I go live at least about, I want to say like 3 to 4 times a week, if not more. Most weeks is more. And I've been doing that consistently for at least like the last 3 weeks. And don't lie, sometimes I might fall off a little bit because I need a little break. But most times I'm live, and what it is give me the opportunity to connect with my audience on a different level. At this point, we family, baby. We are family. So I really love going live. I make the meals on live. I cook on live with them, and then the video drops like the next week or something like that. So all of them are like, oh my God. Like, they so hyped, you know what I mean? Like, or sometimes they'll get on my live and they'll be like, where is da-da-da-da-da, or where's the meal we made yesterday? Like, I'm waiting. So it's really good to have that like community, because that makes all the difference, especially when you're talking about growth on these platforms. You want to make sure you're not only just posting content, because anybody can post content. You want to make sure you're growing your community, because your community is what makes you as a content creator. They are going to tell you what they like, what they don't like, X, Y, and Z. So that's very, very, very important. And the other thing about it is, I just had something happen the other day. The other thing about it is that within your community, when I'm cooking on live, that's probably the best part about cooking on live. When I'm cooking on live, I'm asking them for their feedback. So it's definitely very interactive. Like, when we're making a meal and I'm trying something for the first time, I'm like, y'all, what y'all think? Should we do green peppers? Should we do onion? Should we do green peppers, or should we do onion? Should we do cheese, extra cheese? Should we skip the song we on? Like, it's very interactive. So they're not just listening to me talk. Like, and even in TikTok, even though you can't go live with me in the guest like little feature, or the multi-guest or host box, because you have to have a certain amount of followers, you still get to interact in the chat, and they're talking to, I mean, like, I'm cooking and they're literally talking to each other. And I love that, because it feels like family. Like, I'm cooking and they're talking to each other in the chat, because it feels like like family. And because I have like, of course you have your loyals that come in and they're like always supporting you. It's like, hey girl, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's really a good vibe. Yeah. So because we do it so often, we really spend a lot of time together. So it's always great to see it continuing to grow, but it's growing because of what, you know, you're continuing to invest in that, even if it's just time. Investing in your business or your brand does not always have to be content. Investing in your business does not always have to be products. It can sometimes just be time with people, time with your audience, time with your community, things like that. And not just listening to you talk, hear them, talk to them. They have a lot of good things. And I think that's one of the best ways to connect with them. Like when I connect on live, I'm like, y'all, we're about to do a cheese pull for a dish. Like, they like dig in the corner because I got OCD. I'm saying like, whoa. But that's good because it gives me real time feedback on my videos, my content, my techniques, my angles, things like that, so that they get to view the content, they get the last word. It just really gives me what I need. You know what I mean? Like feedback, I'm not a stranger and I'm not scared of constructive criticism. So when my followers are on there, when my supporters, my people are on there, when my community's on there saying, do this, I'm not like ignoring them or nothing. I'm just like, oh, you think so? Like, let's do that. Let's try that. Let's try both. I'm definitely very integrative. I'm definitely very implementative. Is that a word? I take all of their feedback because I feel like they are the consumers. They are the people who are following me. They are the people who are supporting me. They are my community. So what they say matters because how they see it is not how I see it as a content creator. And most of the time that's like that. So if somebody's recommended something or like, hey, you should do this, X, Y, and Z, make sure you are listening. I love live. I love connecting with my community because it really just strengthens that bond. Also, I hit 500 subscribers on YouTube and I'm so excited about it because I'm now at a point where a few months back I wanted to really expand into other platforms. At some point you have to grow as a creator to expand into other platforms. So that's something I've been wanting to do, been trying to do, and because I'm consistent on YouTube and TikTok, I am growing on YouTube. So I hit 500 subscribers, y'all. I'm so excited because, YouTube has historically, in my eyes, or what I have heard from my experience, YouTube has had the reputation for being harder to break into. And that's understandable because at some point, YouTube, like many other platforms, only offered long form content. So when YouTube adapted the short form content, I took advantage of that. I am now posting shorts and things like that, like my TikTok videos, things like that, converting that over. That gives content creators like me an opportunity to be able to really grow on other platforms, which is awesome. So I'm super excited. I'm super, like when I say super, because I've really been wanting to do this for a while now. I just am like getting myself together, doing research, things like that. But back to TikTok growing. So TikTok is growing, but we also know that as of right now in the United States, of course, they are threatening a TikTok ban. Baby, they got bulletins and funeral programs floating around for TikTok on TikTok. So it's rough. It's rough as a creator because especially when TikTok is your primary platform. This is your primary platform and they're talking about banning it. You know what I mean? Like if it doesn't get sold or by, X, Y, and Z or whatever the case may be. I don't know all of the logistics into why they're banning it. I've heard a lot of different things, but I haven't really done my research, which I will be doing. But the banning of TikTok while I'm actually on a nice growth on that platform is kind of disheartening. It's not discouraging. I will say it's disheartening. It's not discouraging for me. I'm gonna be honest, when I first heard it and it like hit, you know what I'm saying? Because they've been threatening it for a while now, you know what I mean? But like, it's not discouraging, but it is disheartening because it's like, it feels like initially like all this hard work I put in X, Y, and Z, but then it also kind of validates like you need to continue to grow on other platforms. You know what I mean? Like that's just natural. You have to continue to grow your brand, your business on other platforms so that, you can increase your audience. I mean, it's definitely crazy right now because I think I'm seeing a lot of posts a day about like TikTok getting banned, what we gonna do, X, Y, and Z, yada, yada, yada. But I mean, y'all, listen, it is what it is. There's nothing we can really change about that. What we can only do is maximize our audience to be able to grow on these platforms. Well, yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Again, it's not discouraging. It's disheartening. And it maybe because I'm a firm believer in God, it will work itself out literally. So I will continue to do what I'm doing, y'all. But yeah, that's how I feel about the TikTok ban. I also feel like, you know, I don't know all the logistics on why it's being banned, but I just feel like, you know, I'm sure a lot of creators on TikTok are feeling the same way I feel. You know what I mean? Some may be discouraged. Some actually may be discouraged, which sucks. And some may be like me, like, you know what, it is what it is. Cause I'm one of them girlies who I feel like it's times to stress and it's times to not. I can't stress over something that I can't not control, but you get what I'm saying? Like, this is just, you know what I mean? Like, they've been threatening this stuff for a while. So, yeah. So that's where I'm at with that. But in the meantime, y'all, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. I appreciate y'all listening to all of my life updates, because I'm always going to get on to tell y'all what's tea, okay? But until then, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe on all platforms. And yeah, I appreciate y'all, okay? As always. Until next time, I will see y'all later.
Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me? Hands in the stove, how the faucet's running and I keep looking at you.